He died in the minibus back to Stilbaai, and I held his hand until he was gone. And he made me promise that I would not stop until the community could stand.
Melkhoutfontein today is a far cry from the marginalised community that Moos Kleinhans knew. There are 140 new houses in the housing development called Harmony Park, and 75 houses that people built themselves.
Ik moet eerlijk zeggen, de jaren die is me gebouwd, ik heb de huis op geloof gebouwd. En ik heb niet bij geld gehad. Ik moest maar sukkelen. Maar prijs die jaren, hij staat bij huis, hij is klaargebouwd. Ik heb mijn eigen geld het gebouwd. Net voor die dag heb ik een lening gemaakt.
Mensen wat nooit zelfs bijvoorbeeld ooit zo gedacht aan bijvoorbeeld hij zal eendag zijn eigen stukje grond zou eten, bijvoorbeeld daar bewoont waar hij bijvoorbeeld een gitaar zou slaan.
Dat was een beetje in het verleden, was het voor mezelf, dat zal nooit gebeuren, maar dat is waarheid geworden. En ik is dankbaar daarvoor.
En zo kan ons vandaag daar doen dat feitelijk in 90%, zeker 99,7% van ons huizen beschikt oor die basiese geriewe zoals elektrisiteit en water.
There are stores, a post office, and even telephones in the village. But more importantly, there is a sense of pride.
Ons is baie trots daarop. Eie tuine. En ons eie tuine wat ons...
Ag, mens kry vandag se lewe kry mens nie 'n beter gemeenskap waar die vrywilligheid van die gemeenskap en die dankbaarheid kan uitgespel word in woorde of in dade nie. Dit is alles van dankbaarheid en ons is almal in die gemeenskap is tevrede as gevolg van die moderne ontwikkeling wat plaasvind.
Baie mense is trots op die ontwikkeling. Want kijk, dat is geriefelijk en dat is makkelijk wel en dat kijk, want ons kan het aangaan als die aandonker wordt. Druk naar die knopje, daar brandt het lucht. Draai net, onze kranen brengen op. Daar is water. Dat is goed voor ons gemeenschap. Dat is mooi in de toekomst, in het jonger geslacht. En hulle moeten net waarderen en voortbouwen daarop.
700 jobs were created in an expanse of 18 months, sustainable jobs, not jobs of just doing little things and then it's past. These people all have work every day of their lives now. Anybody that wants a job can get a job. If there are people walking around in Melkhoutfontein that says, I don't have a job because I don't want to work. That is the social reality. All over in the world you get people that actually, they just like to not work. There's jobs for everybody here, and I think everybody in South Africa has that right.
Today, Stilbaai is a pristine area to visit as greedy developers have been harnessed to ensure the survival of tourism through maintaining the environment.
But it was also very important to us at the Tourism Bureau that we should ensure that Stilbaai isn't so overdeveloped that we would become a disastrous, over-commercialized area. Stilbaai has got the structure plan in place which the local authority enforces rigorously. So building operations have to comply. The town has been organized in such a fashion that you can build, but it still looks as if it's open. Because the environment is why people want to come and stay here. They don't want to come and stay here because there's a beach. There are beaches all over South Africa.
Thus, Stilbaai has preserved the environment to ensure the continuous and increased flow of tourists.
Tourism has the potential to become the biggest job creator in South Africa. Tourism today is the biggest job creator in Stilbaai. If we are to take tourism out of Stilbaai today, there would be nothing. This whole community would once more become dependent upon the state.
Melkhoutfontein itself, as a successful community project, is a tourism destination in its own right, offering visitors a working craft centre and the garden in the garden route, and most importantly, benefiting the community.
It's a classical community-based experience. When I visit countries overseas, I want to get out there and be part of the scene. I want to do what the locals do. In that way, I will live that country and I will learn to respect and appreciate that country.
Not only are tourists to South Africa looking for a unique experience, But today, the Millennium Tourist definitely represents a new morality. They want to know that their tourism experience will be benefiting the community in some way. They are searching for the soul of South Africa.
So this is the product of Melkhoutfontein. It's the people in environment, not the people and environment. We have this product which, if we preserve it, we can present it to the tourists. That can be our cash cow.
The question that begs to be asked now is, what made this project successful?
To start off with, I placed the people central. They had to give the solution to the problems.
My boodskap ook aan die gemeenskap van Melkhoutfontein en ook ander gemeenskappe is dat ons nooit moet aanvaar dat dinge nooit met ons kan gebeur nie. Ek dink ons moet net by onsself begin, ons moet opstaan en begin rondkyk, sien wat is ons werklike behoeftes. Die leiers in organisasies, in kerke, skole moet saamkom, besluit hoe ons die probleem gaan aanspreek.
Thus, the community themselves made it happen, emphasizing tourism as a job creator and thus adopting a holistic approach to sustaining the natural environment. This has also been a vital empowering factor within the community.
And today it is so wonderful for me to look back and say that tourism has made the difference. It's been the cash cow of Melkhoutfontein. It's been the job creator. It has turned the community around from being consumers and observers to manufacturers and enactors.
Finally, one has to look at Anthea herself. She got stuck in and mucked in. In South Africa today, there are far too many high-powered community consultants wearing expensive suits and driving fancy cars, collecting enormous salaries for coordinating projects that are overfunded and underproductive.
If it's going to work in the communities, if it's going to work anywhere in South Africa, you actually have to get on and get your hands dirty, hands on. I have my views on these consultant practices, all taking a lot of money to do these researches, and they all just wind up on a shelf dust gathering. And so I walk this mile with this community every day, a new mile. And in the end, a development project such as this must lead people into independence. The only thing they must be dependent on me for is my continued interest and love for the community. But the job of making it work is theirs now.
In terms of success, credit has to be given to those funders who supported the project.
I don't believe that one person should fund this. I believe that private sector, the community, and government should go into partnership, because the partnership has been a multiplier effect here. And the funders should be very proud of that, because they've really seen dividends on what they've invested in here.
Ek dink die samewerking by alle mense groter suksesse en dit is wat Melkhoutfontein ons geleer het.
Today, both the Melkhoutfontein and Soeterus projects are worth more than what was invested. This can be contributed to the community themselves who made it happen. It's not about the RDP. It's about the people, making it happen for the people. The project is an ongoing one. Much still needs to be done, but what has been achieved is exceptional. Today, Stilbaai, of which Melkhoutfontein is a proud suburb, has the highest growth rate in the Southern Cape, with the lowest unemployment and perhaps coincidentally the lowest crime rate. But Anthea hasn't simply stopped at Stilbaai and Melkhoutfontein. She has been approached to facilitate change in other struggling communities. And the people of Stilbaai turned out recently in their finery to celebrate the launch of their tourism plan. What does work in this equation is that if the rural areas are developed and jobs are created, the influx to the cities will be limited. But there's no point in continuing to develop tourism products like this if the government doesn't see it as their responsibility to market these products on a national and international level. We caught up with Peter Makaba, Deputy Minister of Tourism and Environmental Affairs, when he launched the Stilbaai Tourism Plan, a development which this community is hoping will inject their marginalized village with economic growth.
What, of course, they would require is assistance in terms of institutions from ourselves as government and their own selves forming institutions that would ensure that what they are putting in place is sustainable. This is one of the things that they would need to promote the quality of life here, to promote the activities that people are engaged in here, and ensure that when people plan to come to South Africa, they know about an area such as this one. They know that there are communities out there that would like to receive them. They know that there are people who would like to share the experiences with them.
It is vital that government takes responsibility to drive projects like this further, to invest money into promoting South Africa internationally, to refocus tourism, so that not only is South Africa recognized for its wildlife and scenic coastline, but also for its rewarding community experiences where hope has prospered. Because for the people of Melkhoutfontein and the successful Soeterus Centre, tourism has been the cash cow, and it can be for the rest of South Africa.
Mevrou Rossouw ons dan baie nie. Ek kan nie haar ons kan haar nie bedank nie. Want ons kan nie ek het die woorde van haar want sy was baie goed. Want sy het ons nou daarom uit die armoede het sy ons daarom nou lewe gegee. Dis wat ek. Want ons was agter met aas. Nee, daai juffrou, ag daai mevrou Rossouw moet ek sê. Ek nou eendag gesê die Here het haar hiernatoe na ons toe gestuur. Want kyk die wonderwerk wat sy vir ons gedoen het hierso.
I think I have a lot in common with many people in South Africa that they truly love this country. Now that's what I want to say. What if everybody in South Africa, what if in every community in South Africa, someone would do this? This country would be the greatest country on earth.
What is perhaps most reassuring about the project is how one individual has empowered a community to uplift themselves, and they in turn have embodied the spirit of transformation. It is about how one individual can make a difference. Perhaps it could be you.